I thought of something that might be of importance if you're thinking about a fall garden but haven't planted, or if you planted and you think you may be a little late. Last year I extended my season. In other words, well, I extended my season for at least 2 weeks. A frost, I had at least 2 frosts that came and would have killed off everything I had, but I had some overhead water sprinklers, and I think it's just one overhead water sprinkler. So if you think you're running a little late on your garden, if you can put in an overhead water sprinkler, and if you can afford to let it run all night on a night that's going to get cold, you're going to get a frost, and you can have a frost. It doesn't have to be 32 degrees. You can have a frost at 35, 36. If there's not much wind and clear skies and whatever. So, but anyway, if they're calling for a killing frost or calling for a frost, if you can do an overhead sprinkler, I have found, I read that worked, and it works good in spring on peaches and plums and such. If you don't, if you have a frost or a freeze that might come and kill the blooms and keep you from getting a crop that year. It also works well on them. A guy that told me that was a test case for one of the ag extension agents up somewhere. I say up north of here. I think it was in Virginia, Carolina, somewhere. And he had 1,500 peach trees. They came out and installed sprinkler systems and some big wells and such. And he kept his crop on years that everyone else was wiped out. So. It works. The overhead sprinkler can work on in the springtime on your fruit trees, peaches, plums, nectarines, pears, things of that nature. If you can afford to run your sprinkler, if you don't have a well, it's going to cost you a little bit. But so what I'll do to extend these, if they haven't quite made, or even the ones that have made, like the peppers, and we'll keep making until they get burnt by frost, I will keep the sprinkler on them on nights that it looks like a frost, or that they're calling for a frost. The only reason my season ended last year was I came out a little bit too late. I came out about 10 or 11 o'clock one night to turn the sprinkler on, and it had already dropped down to about 32 or 33, and the sprinkler head was or the hose had froze off. So it's too late, and that's the night I lost them. So I know it works. Keep that in mind if you're going to plant a fall garden, that you can extend the season with some overhead sprinklers. Water spraying on the plants. I've always heard that you can go out in the morning before the sun comes up and spray the plant, and as long as the sun doesn't hit the frost, it won't kill them. Well, I've got a bunch of stuff killed by trying that method. But this method I have definitely tried, and it certainly worked for me. Hope it works for you if you try it. Another way of extending your season, obviously, is with the greenhouse. If you haven't seen my video on Texas Pepper's greenhouse, this is one I made out of cattle panels. Very easy to do, inexpensive. You'll spend plastic and all, and the plastic's not cheap. Plastic and all, you'll spend less than $150 probably for a 12 by 8 by 12 greenhouse. So another way to extend your season would be to plant some things in some transitional pots. In other words, some movable pots. These are some of those tubs. I planted lettuce, broccoli, lettuce. It's a romaine. All this is broccoli, all 8 of those. And then again with this one, lettuce, broccoli, lettuce. When it gets, these are cold hardy. They'll take a frost. They'll take, not some weather that's not too bad. But when it gets cold, they're going to need protecting, and I will just drag them into that little dude right there. And then try to remember to open the door. Now I will open the door in the mornings. On days it's going to get real hot, because then they would wilt. But I also have this door opener from Harbor Freight. I paid $25 for it, $29. Hinged it, and this does open and close. It's got a fluid filled. Just watch the video. Texas Pepper Greenhouse, and build you one. This is a great way to extend your season. And put you some shelves in it, and I got me some little tobacco drying. Little tobacco. I ain't got a clue what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm gonna save the seeds and have backer seeds anyway. Extend your season if you possibly can, if you've planted anything at all, and if you want to plant something now for or make a greenhouse now, and then go ahead and be safe to plant some things. Probably you're gonna have to heat it if it gets cold, but all you're trying to do is extend your season, unless you have a way to heat it, and I can't afford to do that. Anyway, I'm thinking that's it now. Bye. Gone.